The obsidian halls of the draconian Imperial Station gleamed under artificial starlight, cold and magnificent like everything else in the Dragon Empire. Princess Emma Vextharian stood at the viewport of the command tower, her scales shimmering with that peculiar iridescence that marked royalty among her kind. For 300 years, she had walked these corridors, studied the stars, and felt nothing but the weight of duty. Tonight felt different, though she couldn't explain why. "Your Highness," came a voice from behind her, rough, warm, unmistakably human. "I'll be out of your way in just a moment." Emma turned to see Jack Chun, the human janitor who'd been assigned to the royal wing 6 months ago. He pushed his cleaning cart with practiced efficiency, never meeting her eyes. Humans rarely did. They were the newest members of the Galactic Concordat, their planet only having achieved hyperspace capability 15 years prior. Most species still treated them like primitives. "Take your time," Emma said, surprising herself. She normally didn't speak to the staff. Jack paused, finally glancing up. His dark eyes held a peculiar sadness tonight. "Thank you, Your Highness." "You seem troubled," she observed, her dragon instincts picking up on the subtle scent of melancholy that hung around him. Jack hesitated, then smiled weakly. "It's December 25th, Christmas. My first one away from Earth." He shook his head. "Sorry, I shouldn't burden you with Christmas," Emma repeated, tasting the unfamiliar word. "I'm not familiar with this." The human's surprise was evident. "It's a holiday, a human tradition. Families gather, exchange gifts, decorate trees with lights, share meals together. It's about—" He struggled for words. "Warmth, I suppose. Connection. Remembering that we're not alone in the universe." Emma's tail swished thoughtfully. Dragons didn't celebrate. They achieved. They conquered. They ruled. Festivities were inefficient. "That sounds pleasant," she said carefully. That Jack's laugh was bitter. "It is, when you have someone to share it with. Here, I'm just the guy who mops the floors." He caught himself. "I apologize, Your Highness. That was inappropriate." "No," Emma said, making a decision that would have shocked her entire court. "Show me." "I'm sorry. Show me this Christmas. I have nothing scheduled for tonight." Her golden eyes fixed on him with an intensity that made most beings tremble, but Jack simply looked confused. "Consider it a royal command, if that makes you more comfortable." Jack swallowed hard. "Your Highness, I have a mop bucket and some cleaning supplies. I don't exactly have Christmas decorations on hand." Emma's lips curved into something that might have been a smile on a human face. On a dragon, it showed too many teeth. "Then we improvise. Isn't that what humans are famous for? Your species went from atmospheric flight to hyperspace in less than a century. Surely you can manage one Christmas with limited resources." Something sparked in Jack's eyes, that particular human quality that made them simultaneously the most annoying and most interesting species in the Concordat. They called it determination. Dragons called it foolish stubbornness. Either way, it was fascinating. "All right," Jack said, squaring his shoulders. "But we'll need to requisition some things from storage." 2 hours later, Princess Emma's private quarters looked nothing like the austere chamber it had been. Jack had somehow convinced the supply depot to release strings of maintenance lights, which now hung across the ceiling like captured stars. A potted Centaurian fern stood in the corner, its bioluminescent fronds decorated with reflective maintenance tape cut into stars and circles. "It's not much," Jack admitted, standing back to survey their work. "On Earth, we'd have a real tree, proper ornaments, maybe some music." "It's beautiful," Emma interrupted, and she meant it. The soft glow of the lights reflected off her scales, making the room feel alive in a way it never had before. "What happens now?" "Well, traditionally, we'd exchange gifts, but wait here." Emma disappeared into her sleeping chamber and returned moments later with a small data crystal. "I've been working on this. A comparative analysis of human literature and dragon saga songs. I thought—" She paused, uncertain. "I thought perhaps you might find it interesting to see how our people's stories mirror each other." Jack took the crystal with trembling hands. "Your Highness, I can't accept something so valuable." "It's Christmas," Emma said firmly. "You said gifts are part of the tradition." Jack laughed, a genuine sound that filled the cold room with warmth. He reached into his maintenance coveralls and pulled out a small, worn photograph. "This isn't much, but it's all I have. This is my family, back on Earth. My mom, my sister, my nephew." He pointed to a small child. "That's Tommy. He's 3. I'm missing his first real Christmas." Emma took the photograph carefully, aware of how fragile human memory capture technology was. The image showed people gathered around a decorated tree, faces lit with joy. "Why did you come here, then?" "To space." "Because someone had to," Jack said simply. "Humanity needed representatives out here, people willing to learn, to build bridges." My family understood. They were proud, even though. His voice cracked slightly. Even though it meant leaving them behind. Emma understood sacrifice. She'd spent 3 centuries in duty to the Empire. But she'd never understood loneliness until this moment, seeing it reflected in this human's eyes. "You're not alone tonight," she said quietly. "Neither of us are." They sat together as the station's chronometer ticked toward midnight, sharing stories. Jack spoke of snow and hot chocolate and his mother's terrible singing during caroling. Emma told him of the dragon hatching festivals, the rare moments when her people allowed themselves joy. When Jack finally left, hours later, Emma stood at her viewport again. But the stars didn't seem quite so cold anymore. The next morning, the entire court buzzed with scandalized whispers. Princess Emma had requested that Jack be assigned as her cultural liaison. A human, a janitor, given an official position in the royal household. But Emma didn't care about whispers. Jack had given her something she'd never had in 300 years. Not Christmas, exactly, but something that mattered more. He'd given her a reminder that even in the cold vastness of space, warmth could still be found. You just had to be willing to share it with someone brave enough to show you how. And sometimes, that someone pushed a mop.